During the past 2.5 million years, our planet's climate has moderately fluctuated and shifted between ice ages and warmer periods. But in the last century, Earth's temperature has risen unusually fast due to global warming. Now, we've all heard about this drastic climate change, but do we really understand what it is and how it affects our planet's oceans? Let's take a dive into this issue and see what we can do to help solve this horrible problem. So what even is climate change? Climate change can best be described as global warming and its terrible consequences. The burning of fossil fuels for electricity, heat, and transportation emits greenhouse gases into our atmosphere and is a major contributor to climate change. We already know that climate change affects us people and our atmosphere, but how does it affect something as deep and mysterious as our beloved oceans? Oceans are a vital part of our lives. The ocean makes up about 3/4 of the planet and provides many services to human communities, such as moderating weather, generating oxygen, producing food, and storing excess carbon dioxide. However, the effects of increasing greenhouse gas emissions threaten ecosystems through changes in ocean temperature and the melting of ice, which can in turn affect ocean currents, weather and storm patterns, and sea levels. Also, because the carbon sink capacity of the ocean has already been exceeded, the ocean's chemistry is changing due to our carbon emissions. In fact, we as humans have increased the acidity of our oceans by 30% over the past 200 years. Now, how is this drastic change occurring in our oceans? As greenhouse gases trap more energy from the sun, the oceans are absorbing more heat, resulting in an increase in sea surface temperatures and rising sea levels. A few additional ways climate change is affecting our oceans is through changes in fish migration patterns, drowning wetlands, and coral bleaching. These changes in our oceans are detrimental to how we humans live on Earth. Now, to better understand this phenomenon, let's look into climate change's impacts on corals specifically. First off, why are corals important to us, and why should we even care about them? Coral reefs are important for many different reasons, such as protecting coastlines from wave erosion and tropical storms, and providing habitats for a diverse variety of marine organisms. In addition, coral reefs provide protection from flooding and help sustain the various industries in our oceans. So how do corals relate to climate change? A warming ocean leads to thermal stress that can contribute to coral bleaching and diseases. As the sea level rises, sedimentation in reefs may increase, and sedimentation runoff can smother the coral. Changes in storm patterns can lead to stronger storms that lead to the destruction of corals. Lastly, ocean acidification causes a reduction in the ocean's pH levels, which decrease the growth and strength of corals. Now, this is just one example of the many ways climate change can harm our oceans. So what can we do to fix this problem and save the oceans that we love and depend on so much? As a community, we must all avoid fossil fuel emissions by walking, biking, or utilizing public transportation. When we shop, we must use reusable shopping bags. Plastic bags end up in our oceans and release toxic additives. Since the production of livestock for human consumption releases greenhouse gases and is the largest contributor to climate change and water pollution, we must also eat less meat. We must plant trees within our communities. These trees help to reduce runoff into the ocean and act as a filter for both our water and atmosphere, which will help reverse the warming of the planet and its oceans. Lastly, and most importantly, be sure to never leave litter anywhere other than its designated disposal containers. Otherwise, this trash will end up in our oceans and pollute them, harming the vast biodiversity that our oceans contain. Now it is up to us as a community to work together and stop these drastic effects of climate change. Unless we want to live in a world without our oceans and the many benefits they provide us with, we must start now to help reverse the rising temperatures of our oceans.